Hi, I'm Stephen.
I'm Bret.
And we are the Broadway Husbands.
In this video, we're going to talk about, we've actually never done this.
We've never added up the cost of how much it costs to have a baby through surrogacy. So we're going to try and go through it all and remember it all and calculate it on a calculator.
If you don't know us, we had our son via surrogacy in 2022, and it was a long journey. We started
a 4-year journey
in 2018, and one of the biggest questions, most frequent questions we get from people is how much did it cost? And what the biggest misconception is that people think you need to have the money up front, and we did not do it that way. We actually paid for things as they went, but we never actually totaled up how much we spent.
And so we're gonna go through it step by step, and these are all, you know, very educated guesstimates of the amount that we spent. All right, so here we go.
Okay.
Let's start from the beginning.
A very good place to start.
Let's start at the very beginning.
The first thing we did was we went to the LGBTQ Center in New York City on 13th Street, and we attended an event that was all about gay parenting.
Family building.
Okay.
Family building. And so
it was a free event, so we paid for the subway, and that was $5 total.
$5. Okay.
The second thing we did, I don't know, maybe a year later, was we went to the Men Having Babies event,
which was free,
which was at the Jewish Community Center in New York City, and that was a free event.
I think.
We registered for that, and again, we paid for the subway, so that was another $5. Cheapest part of the entire process.
And that's where we met our
fertility doctor,
Dr. Leondiris.
Dr. Leondiris we had a Zoom call with him. He suggested the first thing we should do is get our sperm tested, so and our insurance would cover that. So we made an appointment with Columbia Mount Sinai or something,
and we did that, and
we
that
went there.
was free.
Yeah. Didn't cost us anything to get our sperm tested.
That's probably the last time on this journey that something is going to be free.
And that was another $5.
Oh, you're adding
to take the
$5.
subway. Okay. So then we decided, this is our doctor, we like him.
Yeah.
Let's go and do our first thing, which is donate our sperm.
Donate our sperm and get our blood taken and talk to geneticists and talk to a therapist and talk to the nurses.
So
and
we did a whole
team day.
They call it, I don't think this was considered a team day, but
no.
it was like our first, parenthood thing where they would actually take our sperm specimen, as they call it, and they would freeze it. Okay, and that's where we met everybody on our team, and by doing that, we also unlocked their egg donor profiles, because they had their own egg donor bank there. Yeah. So by doing that, I think we ended up paying.
So what was it for the day? It was like around $4K for the day?
No, I think it was about, we said it was like somewhere around $10K, and that's what unlocked the.
Oh yeah, like $10K for the day and unlocking the egg donor bank. So let's plus 10, 1, 2, 3, 10K.
Yes. So then we looked at their egg donor profiles. We chose the donor that we liked, and then we had to pay something like $20K to get her to go through the egg retrieval process and make the embryos.
So far we're at around $30K.
Then once we had the embryos made, we had to keep the sperm frozen and the embryos frozen, and that was $50 each.
So it's $150 because 50-50 and then 50 for the embryos for every month. So
and we're still paying it's now $75, and we're still paying to keep our embryos that we have frozen.
Yeah.
So we'll tally that up.
Yeah, we'll tally that up at the end, because that's complicated. Okay,
then we needed to match with a surrogate. Now, we decided not to go through an agency because a lot of agencies require you to put $20,000 up front, and we just didn't have that money, nor did we want to spend it on that. We thought we could do it on our own.
So we found a surrogate through a Facebook group. We found a potential match. It all looked good. I think she had a phone call with our doctor before we decided to fly her and her husband to Connecticut from California. So that was our next expense, which was about $8,000
to fly them to New York, put them up, get them to Connecticut, do the whole team day, pay for the medical, like all of her blood work, psych work, and all that stuff.
Yeah, she made it through. She passed. She was going to be our surrogate.
And then we had to do legal.
And then we had to do legal.
So that was about $10,000
Yeah.
for the legal.
Yes.
Where are we at now?
Right now we're at $48,000.
Okay. So then after a few months, we didn't really do anything but pay the monthly freezing bills.
Yeah.
And then she bailed on us.
She bailed on us. So that was November of 2019?
Yeah,
November 2019.
We were devastated, and then that's when Crystal, who ended up being our surrogate, stepped in
And said she would do it.
Said she would do it. So then we had to schedule a team day for her.
Which didn't happen until, it was originally supposed to happen at the end of March of 2020, and we all know what was happening in March of 2020. We got Crystal to the doctors for all of her testing.
For a team day, but that couldn't be a team day because
of COVID.
So she was by herself. We did
And we were
everything
all
on Zoom, including her husband and her dog.
Yeah.
So that was $8,000 total for that. So now we're at $56,000, and then she was cleared, and then we had to get health insurance to cover her for the pregnancy.
While she was pregnant, and that was 15.
That was $15,000.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then we had to redo the legal work, but that was a little bit cheaper this time
nice.
because we were able to reuse the contracts that we had
Yeah.
created before and just
So I want to say it
change
was like
them.
between 3 and 5, right?
So that was like $3,000.
So let's just say 3, because we honestly can't remember that part well.
Then we did our first embryo transfer.
But leading up to that, she has to have a cycle, and she has to take her
The progesterone and all that stuff, right?
So at this point, we're under contract. We put $50K in escrow, and the escrow couldn't go below a certain amount.
I think it couldn't go below 20,000.
20 or 25. Yeah.
And we put in 50, and then we had to start paying for her
Monthly
blood work.
payments and blood work.
So at this point, we had to put money into escrow. We paid for legal, we put money into escrow. Then we had to try to do the embryo transfer, which required her getting all of her hormones.
So let's say that's like 7K for her, plus 7. In time, we are in February of 2021. That's where we are.
So once we did that first transfer, they start to pay her monthly payments.
Yes.
Which was something like, I think $2,000 a month.
I think
that's right. We're guesstimating
That's
here.
a guess. That's a guess.
But we also then had to pay all of her medical visits until she was there was a confirmed heartbeat.
She went to the doctor maybe 3 or 4 times. The embryo didn't make it.
We had a miscarriage, and then we had to help process the miscarriage, which was really hard. So that was ended up being about $6,000 to $8,000, and then she had to go, I think, twice to confirm to the doctor twice. That was about $500 each, another $1,000. Then
to confirm what? That everything was okay.
Yeah.
That like after everything was taken care of, that she was able to.
Another $5,000 to do the second transfer.
Yeah, let's say that. So now she's in the second transfer. So now it's July 15th of 21.
So we're pregnant, and we're now paying her monthly payments. Plus she gets like other things out of, but it all comes out of the escrow account that we've already put $50K into, right?
Right.
We're, I don't know, pretty close to like getting into like the third trimester.
The second trimester.
And we're like running low on funds. We can't go below 20K.
Yeah.
And we're like really close to 20K.
So I'm just gonna add 20 to this right now because I think I haven't subtracted like her payments and stuff from this.
Oh yeah.
Or added, I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna add 10. And then
so we ended up having to get a loan for another $25,000 to help us cross the finish line.
Cross the finish line too, because like once you get to the second trimester, then finally the insurance kicks in. There's so many doctor's visits in the first trimester.
So many.
Like,
Then
so
we're
now the
like,
insurance kicks in.
I don't know, we're like 2 weeks away from his delivery date, and she loses her mucus plug.
Yes.
Which sounds as gross as it really looked. And we're like, oh shoot, we better go. So we booked our flights. We actually stayed with Crystal, and so that saved us some money on a hotel. But we ended up going, and we were in Orlando for 2 weeks. So we calculated that was somewhere around $3,000 just for us to go travel and be there, and then also fly back with Maverick.
Yeah.
And then we were there for 2 weeks, and then we did the hospital stay, which was also part of the insurance. We had to pay for that up front. So we calculated that was probably another like
3 to 5K.
3,000 for the hospital. And then we flew back. That was all part of those fees. All the rest of the fees at the hospital were covered by the insurance. And
there was breast milk.
she did the breast milk, but that also came out of escrow. But that was about $700 per shipment, and I think she did 3 months worth. But that also came out of escrow. So
is that really it?
yeah.
I
And so
expected
now
the number to be higher.
now we should calculate the amount of money we spent on frozen embryos and sperm.
Okay, yeah, so from 2018, March of 2018 to March of 2024 is 6 years.
So
12 times
times 6.
6 is, sorry, I don't want to lose this number. So
12 times 6 is
60, 72.
72 times 150.
10,800.
Okay, you ready for the total cost? For the first time, we've never seen this number.
And also, these are like just really good guesses. So it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty darn close. The grand total is $148,915. And you know what? He was worth every penny.
What do you think? Would you spend this much
I would do it
to
again.
have a child?
I hope to do it again.
It's 100% worth it.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, click the like button, and share this. Help spread the information of what it's really like having a child as a gay family. Let's try to get some more companies to be able to become families through insurance benefits and our governments. Like, it's super important that we make this a much easier process for so many people, because we all deserve to be parents if we choose to.
If you want to.
Bye.